Hello there. Welcome to Blitz Transmissions. I'm Tommy, and this is episode 17 of the Blitzcast. Before we get into the content of this episode, make sure to check out all the links in the description below. That being the links for my social media, including my Instagram, my second Instagram page called Blitz Bounties, not to be confused with the Blitz Bounties live stream series that I do when I get hauls and big pickups and things like that. And I also have a Discord, free message board that you can join. It gets you in touch with the kind of the closer knit community of the Blitz Brigade. We also have another little thing going on, an X page. I rarely post on it. I really just post video announcements, kind of in the same vein of what I post on Instagram, except no pictures. And then I have a channel membership. If you'd like to see my action figure reviews early, make sure to check out the Rancor Battalion channel membership. If you'd like to be a member of the Rancor Battalion, check out the link in the description below. This week on the Blitzcast, surprise, surprise, I'm joined by the one and only, the lovely Jennifer. Oh, big surprise. We locked the napkin back in the dungeon. Definitely go check out the vlog that I did. Actually, again, Merry Christmas. This past week was Christmas, so for the
What
Christmas...
day is it?
It is Friday, the 27th. Mm-hmm. So, as of recording this, you guys will see this on the 28th. The napkin and I, Logan, we went on a Christmas Eve toy hunt, a bounty hunt, which you can check out on a vlog that we posted on Christmas. I got the idea from Scott Solo from the Sarlacc Digest podcast. You might know those guys because I'm on their Toy Chest show as a regular co-host. That's a lot of fun to do every other Monday. And Scott said that the going toy hunting on Christmas Eve has always gotten him something for like 25 years. And we went, and lo and behold, I got a chase from the Hot Wheels Star Wars die-cast vehicles line made by Mattel. These are cool. It's not for me. It's just purely to resell, probably at ICC-Con, because 212 Hunter collects these, so whenever I go to Walmart or Target, I always check for them. And he already had this chase variant, this prototype Imperial shuttle. So he said, I would still pick it up because it's worth something. So that's exactly what I did. Jen, how was your Christmas?
It was very nice.
Yeah.
I think we got through it together.
We did.
We exchanged gifts.
We did.
We were merry and
We were merry.
Possibly tipsy, you know?
Possibly. Maybe. Not me. No.
I was. It was very fun. It was a very nice Christmas celebration.
Definitely.
And actually, it's still going along. My brother is in town for our second Christmas with my brother and my nephew. So very excited about that. To kind of toot my own horn a little bit.
Plug alert.
Tommy.
This is a paid sponsorship.
Tommy graciously gave me a microphone for Christmas to help me start my own podcast. Has nothing to do with Star Wars, though there definitely will be nerdy references because that's who I am. But it's mostly talking about female stuff, you know, how it goes.
You know, girls, tampons, periods,
definitely
things of that nature.
Definitely focusing on lifestyle and us planning our wedding.
Yeah.
And working a full-time job while also trying to navigate your 20s and modern life and all that good stuff that I'm just going through. So, it's called The Real Normal Podcast.
And it will be linked in the description below.
And it will be starting January 1st.
Yes. So very excited. Honestly.
Subtle, humble plug.
Yeah. When you told me about a month and a half ago, you started telling me these ideas that you want to do your own podcast. That actually made me really excited because it told me that you actually enjoy sitting down with me and listening to me just monologue about Star Wars. on camera once a week. I know I do it to you a lot more than that off camera. But it was cool to see that you have this idea that you kind of want to take on your own. So I kind of wanted to be a part of that as much as possible. So I provided you with some equipment so that you won't have to borrow my equipment. I felt like having your own stuff would be cooler for you as well, because then you can have your setup exactly how you want it to be, and you won't have to set it up again and again and move stuff around, and did I grab this, did I grab that. It will be linked in the description below. As of right now, Jen has just the Instagram page set up, but that's going to have like a link tree and everything, so you guys will be able to access the podcast and stuff. Super excited. Really excited for you, and I'm really excited to help you along the technical aspect of the process. And so you don't have to. Roadie. Yeah, so you don't have to deal with the stupid technical difficulties that I've dealt with over the past like 3.5 years that I've been doing this kind of content. Yeah. I'm excited for you. But yeah, aside from that, I'm trying to think. Christmas, we did get some cool stuff for Christmas. One thing, I got to give my dad a shout out here. So I'm gonna tell this story, I think, for the first time on the Blitzcast. But this is, my dad got me this, the from Disney Parks, the Legacy Saber Gungi lightsaber hilt. Gungi is the Wookiee Jedi youngling, later Padawan, from the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch series. This character has a lot of special meaning to me. There will be a full review, by the way, of this product. Once I did order the 31-inch blade on Disney Store, and the blade is on its way right now. So as soon as I get that, I'll make sure I get a review for this out. I've never reviewed a lightsaber. It's definitely going to be a few and far between type thing. So I'm excited to try something new with it. So the story with Gungi. Gungi is a character that may or may not have been created by yours truly, unintentionally. So way back in 2010, if you didn't know, Dave Filoni, the creator of the Clone Wars series, is an alumni of Edinburgh University, which is a school that is in our area. Dave Filoni hails from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, huge Steelers and Penguins fan, and played hockey for Edinburgh. So he went back in it was around 2010. I don't know if it was that year exactly. And he did like an alumni speech about his career and working on like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Star Wars and things like that. So my dad, of course, went. I believe he trooped in his one of his 501st costumes. And before he left, he told me and my younger sister Sydney that if he got the chance to talk to Dave Filoni, we'd each have an opportunity for my dad to ask Dave one question from each of us. And I remember being mad at my sister because she chose the question, will we see Commander Cody again in the Clone Wars? And I felt like that was such a waste of a question. My sister was a big Commander Cody fan because I was a Captain Rex fan. And then I asked my dad, can you ask him if we'll ever see a Wookiee Jedi in the Clone Wars? My dad said he'd ask him. So for reference, up until this point in canon, George Lucas had a huge aversion to having Wookiee Jedi characters in Star Wars. I couldn't tell you the exact reason why that was, but George Lucas was very adamant about, if you've watched my interview with Daryl DePriest, Daryl would tell you that up until this point, around 2010, anytime before 2010 when Gungi first came into existence, that anytime they would bring hey, George, would you be cool if we just did a random Wookiee Jedi, in a pack of Jedi figures or something, George would shoot it down. Nope, we're not doing that. No Wookiee Jedi. So my dad went to the speech in Edinburgh, talked to Dave Filoni afterwards, said they got to talk for about 10 minutes. He said very down-to-earth, very cool, genuine person. No surprise to any of us, of course. My dad got to ask him the question, and I remember when he came home, he told me, hey, so I asked Dave the question about the Wookiee Jedi. I said, well, what did he say? And my dad said that, and if you know Dave Filoni, you'll know these interview questions. My dad said that Dave Filoni, he said, well, my son wants to know, will there be a Wookiee Jedi? He said, Dave kind of smirked at him, looked, and did the, I don't know, we'll have to see, I don't know, that could be cool, I don't know, it might be cool. And then in a subsequent season of the Clone Wars, Gungi was created as one of the Jedi younglings that Ahsoka has her arc with, where, you know, they get their kyber crystals, you meet Hu Yang for the first time, they get captured by Hondo and his pirate gang, stuff like that. And it's a super cool piece of Star Wars lore, and I do very strongly feel that me having my dad ask Dave Filoni that question is a part of the creation of that character, specifically being a child Jedi that would be around the age that I was at the time watching the show. It's very fitting, isn't it? So for that reason, Gungi has always been a super, super special character to me. So when I saw they were making a legacy saber of him, my dad went ahead and pre-ordered one for me as soon as they went up to be available. So thanks for that, Dad. I'm very excited about that. And then I do also have an autograph from Dave Filoni that's in a shadow box behind the camera. But we'll save that for another day. So super excited for that. That was the one thing I wanted to share from my Christmas gifts. Long-winded, but I thought it was a good story to tell. Yeah,
definitely.
What about you, Jen? Did you get anything super cool?
Well, I explained my microphone. My mom got me a sewing kit, which I thought was pretty cute. And then like a lot of other like cute things that are just like nice to have. Like your mom got me some lotion and some perfume and so your mom thinks I stink, and my mom
thinks you dress.
My mom thinks
clothes.
I need to start patching up my clothes. So, there's a lot of reflection going on for this Christmas season. No, it was a very successful Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas, and, you know, make sure to let me know if you had some cool Christmas pickups, or you could tell me in the Discord. That'd be cool too. I've had a couple people join in the Discord recently. But aside from that, I really haven't seen any big Star Wars news recently. We're getting ready. They're already starting to advertise season 2 of Andor, which is great. That's awesome. I can't tell you the last time Star Wars has been marketing a new season for a series this far in advance. Usually they wait till like 3 weeks before the damn thing comes out, and then all of a sudden they're throwing TV spots at you left and right on YouTube. So they're not even real TV spots. But yeah, so it's cool to see the show get marketed like it's supposed to be. And it's easier for them to do that, though, when they only have one project that they're focusing on instead of 17 concurrent projects they're working on. So we have one thing to talk about this week. It is the latest episode of the Skibbity Crew, episode 5. You have a lot to learn about pirates. So Jen, first impressions. I know you were struggling to get through this one, not because it was a bad episode, no, but because it came out during the holiday season.
Yeah, well, you watched it Christmas Eve night, like
there's no way I was
after
going to bed.
midnight. But I was already asleep when you turned it on, so that was a wash.
Yeah. Jen and the dog were asleep on the couch, and I sat on the other end of the couch and watched.
I would tune in, like I would wake up a little bit when the commercials would come on.
You literally only woke up
because the commercials were so much louder than the TV show.
Because we're brokies who now have the commercial version of Disney Plus. You literally
sponsor us.
You did not wake up for a single moment of the episode itself. You only woke up for the commercials. Yeah.
No. So that first attempt was a wash, and then I tried to watch it Christmas night.
Got halfway through.
Yeah, after we were home from all of our festivities, he left me to play video games, and so I attempted to watch.
Can you blame a young man wanting to play video games with his boyfriends? Can you blame a young man?
On Christmas.
I'd been with this woman the whole day. The whole day.
Watch out, it's your whole life.
I go to bed, I see her. I wake up, I see her. I'm eating my lunch, I see her. I'm on the porcelain throne. She's sending me Instagram reels.
You're sending me Instagram reels. Jeez Louise. Make it sound like you hate me. Anyway, so I tried to watch it. I got halfway through and I fell asleep again. And then I watched it last night, the second half, and I really liked it.
Yes, so this latest episode, I won't lie, the first half of this episode, I was like, I wouldn't say this feels fillery, but it feels like side quest-ish, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it felt like a very much... But then in the second half...
Yeah, the second half...
the whole dynamic of everything changes, and I loved it. This, honestly, I have yet for this show to give me, like, a miss. Like, on an episode that I'm just like, meh. Afterwards, every episode I've thoroughly enjoyed. So 5 out of 8, you now have broken the 50% good episode range. You know, I'm not saying that they're the most amazing Star Wars I've ever seen, but they're fun. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're entertaining. I'd watch them all again. I'm there's nothing making me drag my feet to watch any of these episodes again. I did only get the chance to watch this once this week, but it's the holiday season for you. Not much you can do. Jen, first, anything you want to get into to kick off the episode?
All I'm saying is that I said that Jod was going to turn on them.
Yes.
I didn't think it was going to be this soon, and I didn't think it was going to be in that way.
Yeah.
But also, I just really have been enjoying the classic pirate stuff. Like, it still feels like Star Wars, you know? It's not too modern pirate look feeling, but it's just, I don't know, it makes it more fun. All the booby traps and the treasure being actual just treasure in a in a secret compartment is fun. All the args and mateys is also cool. I'm very curious. I think we're gonna have a big reveal of who this pirate is. Like, we don't recognize his name, but I feel like since they blocked off his face, like,
it's gotta
they
be...
They glitched out his body in this episode. I'm like, that must be a big reveal.
He looks like he's a weak way, based on when they get into his lair, where all the treasure is. That statue of the skull has the 3 spikes on the jaw, the mandible of the jaw. That is very similar to a weak way. So I'm trying to find the captain's name right now, because his name, usually I'm really good with names, but his name escapes me right now. So just hang with me while I look for that.
So that, I'm really curious to see where they go with that. Jod's a snake.
Jod's a snake.
I am very shocked that he pulled it in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I know he's a bad guy. You know, I knew that, and he's gonna have a redemption, you know, in some way. But him holding a knife to Fern,
that was crazy.
Is actually crazy. And like I think Jude Law did a really great job of changing his facial expressions, like from the, you know, wide eye, I care about these kids a little bit, to no, but I'm still a pirate, and like, you could see it in his eyes that his intent changed. And when he grabs the lightsaber at the end, like, he's like,
I love how
whatever.
I love how in true Star Wars fashion, Jod's theme speaks so much. The music that plays when he's having a character moment or a monologue or something is so snake-like. It's that very what's the word? It's not a clashing chords, but it
dissonance.
The dissonance. Yeah, you're like, something's off here with this guy, and I love how it's been sprinkled in. Honestly, from Jod's perspective, I can even understand his motives.
Yeah.
Which makes it so much more believable, because these kids are slowing him down severely. They don't understand what's going on. He's trying to explain to them the severity of the situation, and they are not. They're not being perceptive to it. They don't understand the gravity of the situation. They don't understand that there are people that are trying to kill them, and he doesn't want to be a part of that. Obviously, he's trying to save his own skin at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And honestly, we do see that he does still have a soft spot for the kids. He doesn't kill them outright. He totally could have killed them.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And so that'll come back later. So we see Tac Renaud is the new name. That's SM-33's captain. I thought it was great to get just... I gotta say, that's something I like about the show. Everything is fluid. If we mention something in an episode, it's coming back. I like that the kids are trying to figure out where At-Aden is, so we're not like kind of dancing around the next plot point. We're trying to figure out how to get back to At-Aden. That's the whole reason for this whole show. So it was cool to see, like, I know we spend a lot of this time on this next planet, on this planet Lanupa, which is a resort of sorts here, which I do want to get into stuff with that. But it was great to just see, like, they have SM-33 tied down. There's so many, like, funny moments that just fit this show too. Like, where SM-33 just breaks the ropes. Yeah. No effort at all. They figure out his captain is Tac Renaud, who is a legendary pirate captain, apparently. Never have heard his name in Star Wars canon before now. Like Jen said, at the end of the episode, he shows up in that hologram where they hide his face. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm interested. There's intrigue. Maybe it'll be the supervisor of At-Aden. I'm saying, he ordered. I don't think he's dead.
No, he's not dead.
Yeah, he made it to At-Aden. We know that. We know he made it.
I still think he's the statue in the last episode.
That could make sense too. Yeah.
I don't know. It's that whole sequence I'm like replaying in my head. It was what I expected from them finding his treasure. But also not. I don't know how to decide. I don't know if that's intelligent.
No, that makes sense.
But, like, I was expecting them to touch something that they weren't supposed to, and then they're trapped there. Yeah. And which they are technically at the end, but not because they touched something that they weren't supposed to. Yeah. Like, I was expecting that, like, classic trope of pirate's treasure, like the Aladdin trope, where you pick up the jewels and then the thing starts collapsing, or or something like that classic pirate treasure situation. But it also was what I expected of, like, there was a situation where they do get stuck. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a really clever way of keeping us on our toes, but still following a classic trope with any type of treasure room or getting lost or... So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I gotta say, I really loved when SM-33 is telling the stories about Tac Renaud and their travels together and explaining in detail how they ended up on At-Aden. And I love when he mentions Tac's concubine, and Neil asks, "What's a concubine?" And John's like, "Yeah, we're not. Nope, not explaining that." That was great. Again, clever humor. We as the adult viewers get it. Kids, they're not gonna. It goes right over their head, and I loved it. This whole thing has been a great family watch. We get to Lanupa. And there's some cool Star Wars references on Lanupa to the greater scheme of Star Wars. One thing that's super cool is, I've said it in the earlier episodes of the show, I'm saying it again here, the diversity of alien races in this show is awesome. I'm loving the diversity of the alien races. We have the Munes, the banking clan gets name dropped. and the Munes are in the mud baths. They're those dudes. They're Darth Plagueis' species. They're the dudes with the super long skinny heads. And then we also get the mention that Professor Gorlax, whatever the name that Jod takes on, Captain Silvo takes on when he's there, turns out to be someone who's from Scipio, which is Rush Clovis's planet, which is even cooler, again, tying further into the banking clan. We get to see Hutts, we get to see more aliens from the sequel trilogy, more aliens from the original trilogy. We're, again, blending all the aliens very, very seamlessly from all different eras of Star Wars. And then there's that one girl, the bounty hunter, that knows Jod by a different name. I have it pulled up here because this is what I do. I try really hard to... Skeleton Crew. Maybe I don't have it pulled up. Skeleton Crew. I'm trying to just get these names right. I'm really good with the names the first watch through, but for some reason I'm having some trouble this time around. Let's see.
There's a lot of names, and they're all Jod, so...
Yeah, literally. Jod is known as a couple other names in this episode that I don't think I've heard before. Let's see. Can you talk for me while we're killing the vibe, Brenda?
Sorry. I thought that was interesting. I mean, it seems like every episode someone new is looking for Jod by a different name, which I think it's funny. I mean, it definitely intensifies his stress, you know. So what you were saying of these kids are slowing him down and they're not catching the severity of his situation. It's you can see how that would grow into him being like, I gotta cut you guys loose. Because even from I guess it's the first episode with, him as Captain Silvo, but then, so the pirates are after him, the New Republic is after him, the bounty hunters are after him, all by different names, and possibly all communicating with each other in some way.
Yeah, and we start to even see that in this episode.
Yeah.
So her name is Pocket, and she knows him as Dash Zenton. And I think the name Dash is a total Dash Rendar reference. Dash Rendar is the Han Solo type character from the Shadows of the Empire book, and media thing that came out between episode 5 and episode 6 in the 90s. And that's the same one that Prince Shizor with the pheromones is from.
Yeah, okay.
It's like we didn't have Han Solo, but we wanted a Han Solo character type.
Right.
So they created Dash Rendar. And that was where he came. So I think the name Dash obviously comes from that. But Pocket, to me, I think she's an Umbaran, based on Umbarans that we've seen in Star Wars prequels, in the Senate, as well as in the Clone Wars show. So I think she seems to be an Umbaran. That'd be cool if that was the case. Again, super cool. But there is one scene that I do want to get into before we go back to Lanupa, and that's the scene between Wim and Jod on the Onyx. What's the ship called? I'm awful with names today. I'm the worst. I've lost my encyclopedia powers. The Onyx. I gotta look it up. I failed, guys. I failed. 3 strikes and you're out.
I feel like Jod has been having a moment with each of these kids.
Yeah.
Throughout the show.
Onyx Cinder. So, obviously a little bit more focused on Wim, but... Yeah, for sure.
But he's been he encourages Neil when he's getting scared, and also Fern has had a few moments with him of, pushing her forward a little bit more. And so I think that just makes this betrayal even worse for the kids, because they're so at Aden, they're safe. They've never had any they've never perceived someone not being trustworthy. And so obviously all of these experiences are completely jarring for them, but for this one character who does have the Force, which comforts Wim, and has been taking care of them, and making sure they don't die after the first day.
Have you ever wondered if he actually has the Force, though?
I think he does.
I could be wrong, but isn't it that he's only been able to levitate metal objects this whole show? The keys and the keys, the lightsaber. There was the data pad was metal.
Oh, snap.
But he's also super knowledgeable about the Jedi. I like that it could go either way still. Yeah,
because, the reason I'm leaning more towards that he does is...
because of the way he talks about the Force?
Well, and in this episode, I believe, he was talking about letting go of your attachments.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's why I'm leaning more towards that, of he's preaching some of the Jedi stuff.
For sure.
Obviously not in the spiritual way that Jedi usually do. Very, very blunt and no nuance going on there. He's just
and we get the
cut off your attachments and you're better off. So, but that could kind of be just him being a loner. Mm-hmm. And not having a crew, not having people. And so he just believes, just don't mess with people. Mm-hmm. Don't, be alone, and then you can avoid heartbreak.
Now.
And it's not a Jedi thing.
Did Wim expressly state that his mom was dead? I don't think he did. I think we're being, again, I love the way they're planting seeds in this show where things can go either way and it plays out as the show goes on. Yeah. Wim does not expressly say that my mom is dead. He just says, I won't see my mom.
Yeah.
And Jod kind of has that moment of
yeah, he just says, because Jod says, you'll get to see your parents soon, and Wim says, not my mom.
Is she dead, or is she in jail because she found out too much about what was going on Aden? And she had to be taken away. That's been my running theory for this whole show, and I haven't really had any evidence to negate that theory so far, to debunk it, I should say.
I think the end is just going to be somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow Palpatine returned. Secrets only the Sith knew. Cloning. Dark magic. Secrets only the Sith knew. Wow. Good reference to a movie that we haven't even watched together yet. Hashtag boycotting watching Resistance. We're struggling.
He's struggling.
I'm struggling because I've watched the show.
I just want to get
There's a reason I don't want to watch it again, because it is not entertaining for my demographic.
I like it.
You might like it. I mean, we watched Bluey together, and we liked Bluey. Maybe if I put myself in the Bluey headspace, then I might like it. We'll see.
But Bluey is for all ages.
Bluey is for all ages. You guys should watch Bluey. Let's see. So we get to Lanupa. Watch this put bro on blast. Hey, Hunter, welcome to a live recording of episode 17 of the Blitzcast. And hybrid as well. Do you want me I'm going to put you on speaker. You're live on the podcast. Ready?
Oh, we're on the podcast.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Go ahead and say something for the live episode. Or say nothing, I guess.
What up? just the cloner brain rot's kicking in. We're talking about clones.
I will join that conversation as soon as I'm done recording this episode.
All right. Well, whatever the name of her show is, plug Jen's pod for our behalf.
All right, we will. This will be the second time it's been plugged this episode, so
we gotta really hammer it home.
Definitely. So, all right, guys.
Thanks,
I'll talk to you soon.
Stay safe.
Good to see you. Stay skibbity. Wow, I got both of them at the same time.
We can't even spend an hour without them calling.
My boyfriends.
Your boy.
Shout out Hybrid Toy Reviews and 21200. Let's see. So we were talking about Lanupa, which is such a silly planet name, where they're going to Skull Ridge Mountain to go find Tac Renaud's base of operations. And we get some really cool kind of Indiana Jones, Goonies style booty traps. No, booby traps. That's what I said. I know I made this reference like a week or two ago. But we get some really cool stuff. And I love my favorite one was when they're walking down the hall, Neil steps on one of the little mines, and the laser that's meant to cut your head off misses all the kids because they're too short. That was awesome. Funny. Awesome. So clever.
I really liked the whatever he was, the octopus.
Oh, his name
character.
Was so close. Cathalops. It was very close to Cthulhu. Yeah. And it was obviously supposed to be like Cthulhu.
That was so funny. Like their whole their Wim's like, please come help us, and then they show up and they're like, oh, this is our new friend. He's gonna help us out. I thought that was such a cute scene and just showing how like friendly these kids are and trustworthy.
Naive as well. Yeah, they're naive.
They are so trusting in. I mean, this stranger helped them, but again, they're on this weird. I don't even know. It kind of was implied when they were flying in that it was kind of like a pleasure planet,
pleasure spa. Yeah,
pleasure spa. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
we're all
no
happy
kids allowed.
Things are happening. Yeah. So that was kind of funny that they're walking into this place where there's a hut and there's like bounty hunters and blah blah blah, and they find the one kind soul that's gonna actually help them out. Because
they told them stories.
Yeah, I thought that was just a fun thing to include.
Definitely. So I loved the acid thing. They're figuring out these puzzles. Crazy. It was a lot of fun. And seeing like Brutus's pirates get back involved in the fray. Got to see Steve Urkel's character again. I think his name is Gunter. Yeah. We got to see all those. See, I remember that name, but I can't remember the name of the ship, the name of the ship's captain. Can't remember one of Jod's aliases, even though he has 7 million of them.
He's the worst.
The worst fake fan. But yeah, so we got some really cool references in this episode, and this end scene, man, I really was amped about how that last scene went, because again, like we said in the beginning, I knew Jod was gonna like betray them. Yeah,
we knew.
I think that was a given, but
been known.
The way it happened. Yeah. Was really, really cool. I loved the way it happened. Just this, Jod knows he has all the pieces to get to Ad-Adin. These kids are holding him back. All they want to do is explore the buffet tables. They're not taking anything seriously. They don't understand the gravity of the situation. He's literally got pirates right on the other side of this door. And he makes the smart decision.
You can kind of see the moment where he steps away a little bit. He's turned away from them, and he's kind of weighing his options. Yeah. Yeah. I think he did consider just going the way that they're going with the kids.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
But he was like, no, this is, in the end, he's a pirate, and as they established, pirates value their treasure more than
themselves
more than others. So
we get this little reveal of a lightsaber in this scene as well, and of course Wim, wanting to be a Jedi, grabs the lightsaber and ignites it, and it's upside down. I thought that was so well done.
I don't know, I told you this when he picked it up. I don't know why I thought he's gonna turn it on upside down. I don't know what intuition made. I don't know. But I also thought that lightsaber was kind of gold. Do you think it's from the Old Republic?
It could be. I mean,
Like,
if it's, I mean,
A
lightsabers
guard or something?
lightsabers are very valuable items as it is.
Right.
I don't think it's a temple guard,
Okay.
although it's close in design, and I could see where you would come to that conclusion. Yeah, I could see it definitely being an older saber, like older than the prequels.
Yeah.
For sure. Maybe it's a High Republic saber. Maybe it's Kymir's Jedi lightsaber from before he became a Sith in the hit series, The Acolyte. Whenever I mention that series,
in.
I have to put the prologue
Just
of
had
the
to
hit series.
Throw that in there.
Seeing Wim do that was awesome, but again, kind of the moment where I had this epiphany of like maybe Jod just has like something in under his sleeve that lets him, or in his glove that lets him attract metal objects. Was why didn't Jod use the Force to lift that lever on the fake like piece of meat? Why did he reach across the table to do it when he totally could have just used the Force? I'm usually not one that like, so you could make that argument, why didn't they use the Force for literally anything
Right.
in Star Wars, like thousands of instances throughout the shows and movies.
But he did like reach over.
He made a big deal to reach, so I was thinking, okay, maybe that's not metal the same way that these other objects that he's grabbed are metal.
Yeah, he maybe he just has a little
Device. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really split on it because
Like a tractor beam almost, because he also only brings things toward himself. He lifts the data pad up for Wim, but it's also bringing it towards himself.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a theory. You know, I've never seen him force push anything or like, have any sort of like super speed or anything like that. So, it's
Or like
interesting.
save one of the kids from.
Yeah, right. You didn't Jedi mind trick the guards or anything.
Right.
Just saying. I mean, he could just have been a really low level, like a Padawan when the Purge happened or something.
Right.
And that could just be, because he looks to be about the same age as Ahsoka is right now, like probably 40s or 50s at this point.
Right.
So, yeah.
Got me thinking.
Just a thought. Yeah. But I also love how he kind of utilizes the code, the pirate code, that we got mentioned earlier in the show. Again, bringing something back from an earlier episode that was kind of like, you could be observed as a throwaway line.
Yeah.
And he, 33 isn't, his programming is, he's not able to not follow Jod once Jod wants him as his,
right.
Once Jod is captain, because Fern yielded, Jod knew he wasn't going to kill her. He was just waiting for her to yield. He wasn't going to. I don't think he was going to kill her. But yeah, it was great. Do you have anything else you want to add about this episode?
I'm running through it in my mind.
Because it was a great episode.
Yeah.
It really was a great episode.
I think another moment that kind of shot the kids in the foot a little bit with Jod's betrayal was when they're getting captured by the guards, or they're like trapped, and KB just goes,
"Yeah,
we're not the wise ones, we're kids." Like, just another moment where Jod's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm really curious about KB's character, because she also had a moment of like, I don't want to go in the spas because of the steam, but also said it wasn't because of being corroded.
Yeah, that was an interesting detail.
And
I'm glad
she
you
was
brought that
kind
up.
of like hiding her. I mean, they were hiding themselves, but I don't know. She was being a little bit cryptic about it. And I've mentioned this last week, there's been a few moments over the past 3 episodes that KB will just like have a moment where she doesn't act like a main character, really. She's a supporting character for Fern for the rest of the episode, but then she just has like a moment where she's like saying a lot more than usual, or they do like a big close-up push in on her at a cryptic moment. Like, it's not just a...
This is a pretty far-fetched theory, but do you think that maybe KB has these enhancements where a lot of kids don't, because maybe she knew something at one point and had like her memory wiped and it damaged her brain, so they had to give her these like modifications in order to
I wonder.
bring her back to help her vision and help her, her thoughts and things like that.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because, steam could have a lot to do with anything, could have a lot to do with I was, interrogated and they used steam, like smoke, I don't know. And maybe she, like, recognized the statue almost, and that's why we had that shot.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It could also just be that they wanted to hone in that she analyzed the statue so that if we see that figure again, she can kind of put two and two together. Or maybe she'll be like, that hologram looked a lot like what I saw of the statue, like your theory.
Yeah.
I don't know, just it's an out there one, but it's a thought.
And with that, I'm trying to remember if she was the one or if it was Wim when they were watching the hologram that said, why is it like cutting in and out?
One of the kids
said that because then John said like, be quiet, listen.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go back and rewatch that to see what the captain was saying when that distraction was happening.
Yeah. He was talking about Ad-Adden and knowing where it was and that his crew didn't believe him and
right, but when you redirect like that, I wonder if he said a sentence that not everyone's gonna catch.
And isn't that the cool thing about this show is it makes you want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I gotta go back and
details.
check out that scene. Yeah.
But I don't know, I have a gut feeling that there's something more to KB. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But there's just been a few moments that don't happen with the other kids.
Yeah.
That they just stay on her for a second longer than normal, or she says something cryptic like, I can't be by the steam, and then Fern's like, oh, well, because you're gonna be corroded? She's like, no, not that. And then like the conversation drops. I don't know, it just seems a little bit fishy, and I want to know more about her and why. I don't know why what does she know? Maybe she's the pirate captain.
Maybe she is the pirate captain.
Maybe she's the snake.
Yeah.
KB's the villain this whole time. No, I think she is very pure-hearted. Mm-hmm. I just think there's something, either she is connected to the planet in some way or connected to the supervisor in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she has, like, the mint. Oh, we didn't talk about how...
Oh, the mint.
Oh, my gosh.
The mint. What kind of mint? I need to know. Is it peppermint? Is it spearmint? Is they trying to squeeze the almond of the peanut?
So, we find out that the reason Ad-Adden is called the... Planet of Everlasting Treasure is because it has a old Republic mint on it.
Yep. And all the at planets were mints in the Republic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can just produce as much money as you want. Mm-hmm. $50 bill.
$50 bill. $50 bill. $50 bill.
Trying to get you to
triggering my Goonies,
trigger another Goonies
references.
Obviously a lot of Goonies vibes going on here.
It's not a $50 bill. These are bogus.
And so maybe back to what I was saying before. I remember we didn't talk about the big reveal. Is maybe KB is connected to the mint or knows about the mint somehow. In her programming, does she have programming as a cyborg type situation? Also,
to back up the theory that this pirate captain is the supervisor, we have the scene with the parents in this episode. The very first scene is with Wim's dad, Neil's mom, and then Fern's mom trying to figure out what's going on.
There's so much in this episode.
I know. It's a lot, and that's why I enjoyed this episode so much. Why are the security only droids? Why are the teachers only droids? Unless all of this was intentional to hide any potential of people that are in positions of authority learning about the truth of AT-AT. Everything they deal with is on computers. It's in
Yeah.
little workstations, little cubicles.
But like, what would that do for the planet?
Keep the treasure
But
going. And you can make infinite treasure.
I guess, but how would a data analyst help the mint for a pirate?
You're making stupid, pointless jobs so that the people aren't paying attention.
Just distraction?
Yeah, just
Okay.
dumb little jobs that people don't, so they don't pay attention. They're so busy with their day-to-day lives that they wouldn't think twice about, anything greater,
I did love that they just had Neil be the one smuggling in, like, malware.
Yeah, Neil's mom.
Like, where'd
Yeah.
she get that? She's like, just plug this in. Like, there's no explanation.
This little device that I just made.
Yeah, like, what does Neil's mom do?
Yeah. She got some junk in the trunk, though,
She's a baddie. New Disney mom unlocked.
New Disney. Oh, man.
But I thought that was cool. And then, Fern's mom being the person that
Yeah.
Wim's dad is supposed to be reporting to for being in trouble is, helps this situation.
For sure.
And Fern's mom wanting to first try her proper ways of getting them back, but then immediately realizing that's
It's not gonna go
useless.
anywhere.
So I thought that was interesting of maybe what has she seen in her job that she, like, as soon as Wim's dad is like, that's not gonna work, we need to get our kids back, she agrees with him without really much thought after that. So clearly fishy stuff is going on.
Another item that Jod grabbed with the Force was the metal knife. Remember when security takes all their weapons? Mm-hmm. And he grabs the metal weapon? Just saying.
It's very smart.
All this said and done. Jen, anything else you want to talk about regarding this week's episode of Skeleton Crew?
I don't know. So, okay. We talked about the parents. We talked about them going to this planet.
We learn more about the secret of the planet. Jod turns on them. They're stuck in the treasure room in the trap door. But I think that was like a captain's escape. It looks like the captain's seat at the table.
Maybe. Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to sit on it. Because sitting on it is what triggers the trap door.
Maybe you turn it on and off.
I don't know. I have no idea. I've never been there.
Never been there. Good lord.
But I think it was an excellent episode. Definitely felt like, okay, now we're going into the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Time to
Lock in.
Time to up the ante a little bit. But I did not expect Jod to turn on them that soon. I thought it was going to be like he turns on them episode 7 and then has a redemption episode 8.
This episode's another 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Another 9 out of 10. Very excited for next week's episode.
Despite the fact that I had to watch it in 3 separate sessions. Great episode. I kind of want to watch it all together again.
Same.
Definitely rewatch that whole pirate treasure room scene again because I feel like there are more Easter eggs in that scene than I picked up on.
Definitely.
I don't know. I feel like if you're in a room full of eclectic treasure, there's gonna be more to it than just, oh, we got to the pirate's treasure that we've been looking for all episode. Oops, what happened? I feel like there's gonna be more in the background that we're not seeing yet.
Yeah, definitely. With that, guys, Jen, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. With that, guys, thank you for watching another episode of the Blitzcast. Again, make sure you check out all the links in the description below, including Jen's podcast, The Real Normal. Join the Instagram page and keep updated on stuff that's going to come in January. With that, I hope you all are enjoying the holiday season. Again, safe travels. Hopefully you got cool stuff. Hopefully you ate some good food, spent some good time with good people. And we'll see you next week for another episode of the Blitzcast. May the Force be with you.
Bye.